me, Mr. DJ.
Hey, check this out. We got a great show coming your way.
From the ECSI Sports Studios, it's the Midday Market Report with Jeff Dawson.
ECSI fans, do you want to revolutionize your sports investing habits? Allow me to tell you about WagerWire. WagerWire is an app that helps you become a superior bettor by allowing you to sync all of your sports books and track all of your bets in one place. See your current action, your betting history, and stats. You can also sign up for sportsbooks and collect bonus offers. Follow them at WagerWire on X, as they're the best account on the platform. Head to the App Store or Play Store now and search WagerWire to download the app. Hey sports fans, are you ready for an exhilarating gaming experience? Introducing VIPclub.lv, your ultimate online sportsbook and casino. VIPclub.lv offers a vast selection of sports, from football and basketball to tennis and baseball. Bet on your favorite teams and enjoy the thrill of the game. But that's not all. Our state-of-the-art online casino offers a dazzling array of games, including slots, blackjack, roulette, and live dealer tables. Win big with their fantastic promotions, rewards, and exclusive offers. Join VIPclub.lv today and get a generous 100% match welcome bonus to start your winning streak. Make sure to use code ECSI at sign-up. Bet it, win it, and cash it at VIPclub.lv. Visit VIPclub.lv now and play responsibly. VIPclub.lv, your sportsbook and casino extravaganza. Must be 21 or older to play. Please gamble responsibly. Visit gambleware.org for help.
Good afternoon, sports fans from all around the globe. I am the host, Jeff Dawson, East Coast Sports Investors, and it's that time of the week. 3 Men in the Box NCAA Baseball show, March 1st, 2024. Even with an extra day in the year, leap day, I guess they called it, we're back here on March 1st, week number 3, to break down some college baseball with two of the, I like to say, the young guns in the industry, absolute experts. They know what the hell they're talking about, and truly, truly honored and blessed to have them back here for year number 2. So shout out to both Quentin and Matt for rejoining us for year number 2 of 3 Men in the Box. But first, a shout out to our proud sponsor and partnership, WagerWire. If you haven't downloaded the app, please run over to Google Play and do it. It's free. Start tracking your bets, keeping track of your ROI, and take advantage of the sports books and casinos that are available in your state. And if you're looking for a little flash cash, send an email to affiliates at wagerwire.com. Tell them JD from ECSI sent you. Zach, Travis, and the rest of that team and community will take great care of you there. And a shout out to another sponsor of ours, VIPclub.lv. At checkout, use the promo code ECSI, and they too will take great care of you as well. So without further ado, the two stars of the show, Mr. Quentin Mills and Matt Grissom. Afternoon, gentlemen.
Hello.
Mr. Dawson, always a pleasure.
Week number 3 already, 2 weeks in the books. I will start with you, Quentin. What did you see last weekend? How'd you hit them? Surprises, shockers? What are you seeing?
It's still early. I think Arkansas, we called that one perfectly, so that was good to see. I think we're still seeing that Arkansas can be one of the best teams. Oregon State is up there. And then one we'll probably talk about today, Texas A&M. I think this week, which is rivalry week, a lot of non-conference rivalries still mean something in college baseball for RPI reasons. I think this week it will tell us a lot more in comparison to the first 2 weeks about some of these teams.
Matt, correct me if I'm wrong. I know we were highlighting that game of your Arkansas versus Oregon State, and I was following along, and I think he had 15 strikeouts through 5, and he ended up with 17 through 6. Is that correct?
That sounds correct. Yeah,
Mr.
and they
Hagan.
pulled him after 78 pitches. I think that's one of the things not being talked about a lot. 17 strikeouts is nice, but 78 pitches doing it, that's damn impressive. And that's the Hagen Smith that we all figured would be the Hagen Smith this year, not that one outing against James Madison to start off the season where he gave up a 3-run home run and had a 27 ERA, got pulled because he couldn't feel his hand. So, good bounce back spot for the Hogs. It was gut wrenching to lose the second game to Oklahoma State. We just couldn't get the bats going. And Dave Van Horn was extremely frustrated, to say the least. We turned it on against Grambling, but at the same time, I feel like a nursing home could turn it on against Grambling. So we'll see. We've got to.
You did have a lead, though. You did have a lead.
We did have a lead. Yeah, 7 innings or 7 runs in the first inning against Grambling kind of blew the whole thing wide open. But yeah, good to bounce back. It was an overall good weekend. Michigan gave us a scare on Sunday, but walking away 2-1, getting a win over a top 10 team in Oregon State, but not much more you can ask for.
Well, did the one guy that actually put the ball in play, did he get a standing ovation?
Against Hagen?
Yeah.
So I think Hagen actually had 2 infield base hits and I think 1 walk and then maybe a pop out. That was it. I mean, just outstanding. The one thing I wish Dave Van Horn would have sent him back out to just face one batter and then let him get the standing ovation before he then pulls him. Because it was kind of a shocker. He's at 78 pitches, comes out of the 6th, and then just doesn't come back in. So he didn't really get his, take a bow moment. But it was
you got to come up curtain call.
It was an electric weekend for every pitcher for Arkansas, really. I mean, we had I think we had
Tiger threw a gem.
53 strikeouts total. Our starters, Mason Molina had 10. He had a no-no through 5, I think, is what he pitched. Tiger went 6 innings as well. I think he had 6 strikeouts. And then, of course, Hagen with his 17. It's just outstanding. Couldn't ask for a better start for the pitchers. But the bats are going to have to wake up or Arkansas is not going to be very good this year.
Can I ask? I'll ask you first, Matt, and then Quentin. Obviously, you can follow up on this. Give me the comparison, and it's early, but give me the comparison of Paul Skeens versus Hagen Smith.
Well, listen, I know I've got Baum Walker behind me, so I'm a homer, but from the words of Aaron Fitt, he said, I've not seen a college pitcher as dominant as Hagen Smith was on Friday night for Arkansas since Steven Strasburg and Paul Skeens.
Okay.
So I'll go with that.
Quentin?
One's a lefty, one's a righty. They're pretty identical, to be honest, in terms of elite stuff.
I'm going to throw a question out. Good friend, ECSI family member Marty Lowe from Alabama would like to know, how is Alabama going to be in baseball this year?
I think you already know the answer.
Ago, yeah.
Yeah. They're sitting at 9-0. They look very impressive. Lost Luke Holman to LSU, but Ben Hess has stepped up. Aiden Moza has been great. I think Alabama is going to be a very, very good team this year.
As we always do, I like to say buy low, sell high. And it's, again, already week 3. I know a month from now we're going to be at week 7, and I'm going to be like looking at my portfolio. Is there any teams that maybe we should be looking to add into the portfolio? Any teams as a sell high right now? Anyone coming out of the woodwork or, you think is a little overrated at this point, Q?
If I were to say buy, if you haven't already, I mean, I think Texas A&M could potentially get lower. So if you're going to either repurchase more or get into them, do it now before it's too late. I think it's still a wait and see because it's only 2 weeks. It's a lot of non-conference. I think you really want to see this weekend and then conference play next weekend will kind of tell you where some teams are going to be at. Ask me that next week. I think I'll have a little better answer for you of kind of who's for real and who's not.
Matt?
Yeah, and to touch on what Q said, the market hasn't been as volatile over from week to week. I think the only major moves I'm looking right
Duke and
now.
Oregon State.
East Carolina went from 50-1 to 35-1. Duke, I think, is down from 40-1 now to 30-1 or 35-1. So it got slashed pretty good.
I think
Outside of
Dallas
that,
Baptist make College World Series would be a good one to grab.
yeah, I think Dallas Baptist is plus 550 to make the College World Series.
It's good value.
Overall, like you said, I mean, wait for some of the, if you like the favorites, wait for them to struggle through the conference play and hopefully drop a series. Now, if they don't, then you're probably going to pay pretty much the same price all season long. We saw it last year with LSU. Until they dropped the series, you really paid a premium for them all year. The teams that I would be afraid of not dropping the series, therefore their odds are just going to continue to either get lower or stay around the same, are your TCUs, Oregon State. After seeing the pitching rotation for Arkansas, I would say Arkansas is probably going to teeter around that 10-1, 11-1 all season long, especially if they can get the bats going. But Wake, really, I mean, at plus 700, they're good, but not great. They've got a really good pitching rotation, but we'll see. I feel like they could get had in one of the ACC series, whether it be a Duke or Clemson or
even a UVA.
Yeah, I mean, from what I've seen so far, the ACC is actually pretty solid. I like Duke. I'm really jealous of Q's play on Duke last week or 2 weeks ago, whenever that was. Not really a buyer in NC State, but overall, I feel like if you like anything from like top 6 to 25, you're better off waiting. And then top 5, you could sneak Oregon State in there. I feel like their odds are going to pretty much stay the same. So it really doesn't matter when you jump in.
I know all books are not created equal, and each individual, plays the future market differently. I know a lot of people that will buy a lot of long shots just in case. We call it beer and pizza money. Some of the shorter favorites they heavily invested in. My question to both of you, Q, I'll ask you first. When you're buying futures, and again, it all depends on the sports book, but if you have, to win it all, do you also look to back it up if you have an opportunity just to make it to Omaha in the Final 8?
Yeah, I think you're going to kind of double your loss if they don't. But if you're betting seriously and not just to have something on the game, if you seriously think that team can make a run and win it all, if they make it, you've gotten your money back. So it's a no loss at that point. If you feel that confident about a team, it's kind of the plus 1.5 run line. You should, if it's low enough, you should probably take the money line thought process there. It's something I do. Now, I don't just throw around, value is a term that a lot of people I see throw around is, oh, well, it's good value. I'm sitting on equity. Well, you're not if the bet loses. So I don't play a lot of long shots for that reason. But if I do play a long shot, and I'll give the best example is Coastal. If I think Coastal, which I did, has an outside chance of winning the College World Series for X factors, yeah, I've already bet them to make the College World Series to at least get my money back. Or, you sit there and you say it is what it is. They just didn't do it. But I was serious about them. So I think if you're going to go for a win at all, you can only help yourself by taking them to at least make it. And then you're sitting on house money.
Matt?
Yeah, because there's still going to be long odds in Omaha. So, yeah, it may not be 2,000 to 1. It may be like 800 to 1, but you're still betting on a long shot. And it's really hard to hedge yourself out of a position on a long shot. So you're better off betting the favorites early, dogs late.
See, I love that. I try to explain to people, even in the March Madness now. And again, unfortunately, not all books are created equal. But, if you're sitting on a Kentucky at 20 to 1, you have an Auburn at 15 to 1, you still have the chalk, say, early enough in the year with the UConn at 7-1 or Purdue at 7-1, whatever the numbers are. There are still opportunities, A, to add to that portfolio, but B, you can throughout the tournament, if you got them just to get to that Final Four. There's Arizona. The Final Four this year is in Glendale, Arizona. Do I think Arizona can cut the nets down? I don't, because I don't think they can win 6 in a row. Now, if they struggled in the first 2 weekends and got to Arizona, then all bets are off, because there's going to be a heavy Arizona crowd there. So again, I'd like to bring both sides to it, and I firmly agree with both of you. If you got them to win it all, why not get to the dance, to Omaha or to the Final Four, and look at it that way. I took from you guys's show, I took some of the not your plays that I'm going to give out for everyone, but I'm going to talk about some of the big matchups. You talked about Dallas Baptist against Arizona, number 10 Clemson against South Carolina, number 20 Indiana versus Marty Lowe's number 16 Alabama, Oregon against Cal Santa Barbara, your Gators against the U, and Texas against LSU. So, Matt, start us off this week. Some of these matchups and some of your leans for the weekend.
First off, I love Alabama, and they've got the pitching advantage. I feel like Reisdorf has done well for Indiana, but at the end of the day, I think Crimson Tide is too powerful with the bats. TJ McCants, his stats jump off the page. Ben Hess has a sub-1 Sierra. I just feel like Alabama is going to be too solid of a team to drop a game to Indiana. Then I like Q's Gators and Florida minus 175. It's about as high as I'd play it. I got a bad number there, but I think Florida gets right. Cade Fisher is on the mound. Cuvette, the kid from Miami, has done really well so far. He's got, I think, over a 2,000 OPS, just unreal numbers. Those are going to go down, and I think it starts this weekend facing a Florida Gators team that's trying to avenge the loss of their opening game. It sucked for Cade Fisher, that outing. But moving on, I like Georgia minus 115. That was another play. I'm very SEC heavy this week. South Carolina is another one, minus 150. I'm on Oregon minus 125, and then LSU minus 160. I'll let Q kind of take it off from here, so I'm rambling. But as always, you can follow us at NCAA Insiders. I post all of our betting previews as well as our best bets that we covered on the show. So go check that out. I've got about 10 plays. It's a pretty loaded slate this weekend.
Cute.
Yeah, Matt gives me, I send him 8 plays and he says I'm littering the board. This guy's putting 10 out there. So yeah, it's just funny how the tables have turned. But no, I'll say this: it's rivalry weekend, but also just be mindful of who's actually in a series and who's in a tournament. We mentioned Alabama. Matt mentioned Florida. Florida's in a weekend series. Alabama's not. So just be mindful of that. They're not going to be playing Indiana 2-3 times. So if you think they can beat them today, now's the time to take it because there is no tomorrow. And then keep in mind the pitching matchups with other teams to see who's throwing who and whatnot. But I like Florida. I think they get it right. This team lacks leadership right now, really trying to find their groove. Last year's team was very aggressive. This team doesn't seem as aggressive, but I think they take a great deal of pride in being the top dog of the state of Florida, and it starts with beating Miami every year, and then it proceeds to a weekday series against Florida State. So they got to get Miami before they can get Florida State. I think that happens this week. A team that I really like right now is Central Florida. They're playing South Florida. It's a little rivalry there. South Florida, obviously it's in the name. They think they're in the southern state of Florida, but they're in Tampa, so it's not. It's a jab point. Central Florida is in Orlando. They hate each other. Central Florida is undefeated, and I think they continue with a series win this weekend. Another that myself, Smitty, and Matt, liked was Texas A&M TCU moneyline parlay. You get it at plus odds, and I think both teams. So Texas A&M's playing Arizona State. I gave out that over 10.5. Arizona State, I think you, Mr. Jeff Dawson, could at least bet 250 against them because they're just throwing BP, and their total every game has went over it pretty largely. They're in the 13 to 17 run margin a game. Texas A&M might hang 10.5, over that themselves against Arizona State's pitching staff. And Arizona State, I think, will be able to score some runs there. But I like A&M to win that series, and especially tonight. And then TCU, I mean, they have even their midweek starter would be, a Saturday guy on just about any team in college baseball right now. I think they're just a force to be reckoned with, and I don't think they lose with Peyton Tully on the mound tonight. And then another game that I like, is Indiana State Southern Miss under 11. So Nico Mazza's pitching in Hattiesburg for Southern Miss. Guy's a stud. I think he's got a sub 1.5 Sierra, high K to walk ratio. I like him at home. Hattiesburg is rowdy, and they face a good Indiana State team that was a regional host last year as a 14 seed. Won the regional, so that's a big competition for them. And Indiana State lost a lot of talent last year offensively and on the mound. Mound-wise, they've kind of stepped up to the plate this year. And both offenses, both Southern Miss and Indiana State, are struggling to start the year. So I think to get us a Friday night under with their two aces on the mound is pretty in reach.
Next week when we're here, we're going to be completed 3 weeks. We're going to be on to the first full month of college baseball already. You're blinking. The next thing you know, we're talking conference championships in Omaha. And before we wrap this up here, Matt, give us something for the newcomer, someone that wants to dip their toes into college baseball, seeing that, why watch the NBA? And yeah, I'm throwing jabs at that. Well, that's for another show here. Give them a series. Give them a game this weekend to wet their whistle. That like last week, we knew who to watch on Friday night. Give them something to look for.
That's tough.
Give them a catalog.
Yeah, the problem is people can never find the games. They're never where they're supposed to be. So I don't know if there is somebody playing on SEC Network or like a ESPN2 or ESPNU. But Clemson, South Carolina, that should be appointment baseball right there, number 10 versus number 19. But I'm most excited about Texas LSU. Luke Holman, the lefties, getting the start after Thatcher Hurd experience has not been well for LSU. He's going to go against LeBaron Johnson Jr. These are going to be two great pitchers that will probably end up being first-round draft picks. So I would tune into that one. It's at 8 o'clock Eastern. I think you can actually watch it at astros.com. Shout out Q for giving us that little bull point. But, yeah, that would be where I would start. And like I said earlier, I laid it with LSU. I think LSU's just got a little bit more of an edge than the Longhorns. So take LSU, ride out the former national champs, and watch a great pitcher's duel.
Q, where do they find your work, my brother?
At Q Millie, that's 3 L's, 2 Y's, and then at NCAA Insiders. And I hate to do this, but I got to give you your UConn update. Did fare well last weekend against Cal. Cal is an extremely good team. I was worried about UConn going to the West Coast, and I was rightfully so.
And now they're going south.
Now, and I will say this. I know UConn, and I'm going to steal this from somebody else. UConn scheduling, whoever does that should be fired. They go from Florida to California to the state of Alabama, back to California for a 2-week stay. I get it. You don't want to play there, but let's go all West Coast, all East Coast. Let's stop this back and forth BS. Jeff, get on the phone, make some phone calls. Maybe
You're
you can be
the miles.
The travel advisor. But I fade them this weekend too against Auburn. That's just a really tough team to go against. Coe is their best pitcher for UConn, but again, he's going to throw against the best for Auburn and Chase Allsup, and I just don't think the UConn bats can compete with that. But I didn't want to forget your UConn Huskies update. But otherwise, you can follow us at NCAA Insiders and at QMillie, 3 L's, 2 Y's.
And I thank you because I used to, give Matt the because he would give me the update in the last 2 weeks. You have. So this year, you are the UConn update guy. So you have been granted that. So, Matt, I'll find something else for you in your homework assignment. But tell everyone where they can find you, Matt.
I'm at Grissom on X, and then you can follow along, like Q said, NCAAinsiders.com. On Twitter, we're pretty active. We put out all of our betting previews and all of our best bets, so go check it out.
An amazing, amazing show. Two of the best in the business. If you guys aren't following them, head on over to Twitter, X, whatever we're calling it today on March 1st. Go follow Quentin Mills at Q Millie. That's QMI triple L, 2 Y's. And of course, Matt Grissom with probably, I hate to inflate this anymore, but the best at on X, and that's Grissom on X. You are a smart man, Matt. I envy that at. Good job. Mr. Musk is proud of you.
Zach Cohen at VSIN, he's got betting on X, and that's pretty good too.
From myself, Jeff Dawson at EC Sports Invest, from Quentin Mills at Q Millie, and of course, Matt Grissom at Grissom on X. We wish everyone a blessed weekend. Go follow these guys. Get on over to NCAA Insiders. I assume the book is still available for download, or has that left the building?
Nope, it's still up. You can download it. A lot has changed. A lot has stayed the same. So just read through it. We're also doing a recap show now on Mondays or Tuesdays where we give you an updated list of our top 25 that you'll find in that guide. So we can make it a little more of a living document throughout the season. So be sure to check into that too. It's a quick show, 10, 15 minutes, just recapping what we saw on the weekend, giving you the new updated futures market. And then we do a segment called 3 Up, 3 Down, where we give you 3 teams we're lower on after the weekend and then 3 that we're higher on.
You guys can't beat it. And I'm telling people, college baseball is where it's at. Yes, I'm a big MLB guy, don't get me wrong. But to get to March Madness, to get to the conference championships, this is where it's at versus the NBA. I know it'll be NHL and NBA playoffs soon enough, but this is where it's at. Go tune in and check in. So again, everyone have a great day. Thanks for tuning in. If you have not followed either one of us 3, please go follow us. Head on over to YouTube at East Coast Sports Investors as well. Subscribe. It's free. And we will see you soon.